What's up, guys? Welcome to the Photobooth Magazine, episode number 9. We've got Dave Steven on my one side, and right in the middle, our special guest, Mr. Rex Huang. Welcome, Rex.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, so we've got some really cool stuff we want to talk about this week. Number one, we want to learn a little bit about you, and then we got a somewhat of a controversial topic that we're going to talk about, and then we're going to get into our main topic, which is wireless printing. So let's just go ahead and start talking about you a little bit. Like, let's learn who is Rex, where are you from, how'd you get started? Let's hear it.
Wow, I'm located in California. Started my business out here in Los Angeles. Been in production, wow, for like 20 years. So I've done it all. I've DJ'd, done photography, and then the natural progression was in photo booth. I actually fell in love with it because it just took a lot of the skills from the foundations from photography and be able to bring it into photo booth. And one of the foundations of the photo booth is to know the exposure triangle. So if anybody's listening out there and they want to get into the business, learn your exposure triangle. That is the basis of getting great photos, especially with the DSLR. It's great that you can use an iPad and it looks good, but to have that experience, to have that knowledge, which doesn't really take a lot to learn, um, is very valuable, and it'll also show in your work as well. So that's kind of a little bit where I started from. I've been in it photo booth for almost 10 years, maybe a little bit more. And I started right around when they had the large road cases.
Oh my
And I
gosh,
always
yeah.
thought it was, no, right? Did you ever have one?
Nope. I saw them before I got into it because I was a DJ too, and Dave's a DJ as well. So we have experienced watching those things get rolled into events, and I'm like, wow, that thing is huge. So that's how you
Yeah,
got
Yeah,
yeah.
started?
I never had one of the big ones. I always had, I always tried to keep mine small and portable.
I think was your first one from Scott, remember? Right? Think
Scott,
about how far back that, yeah,
yeah,
he was building. Yeah,
yep.
so that's around that time, and I was like, there's no way I'm getting that into my Honda Civic, and that's when I started going in the garage, started building it, and people are wondering, wow, how is he able to get in and out of venues so quick? It's because we built them, and we really understood the measurements and what it entailed, and it really didn't take two giant suitcase boxes to do an event. But at one time, that was the standard. It was,
Yeah.
the road case standard, and the road case was a standard. The webcam was a standard, and
Yeah.
it just evolved so much from there. So that's about the time that we got started, and here we are today.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I didn't get into it because I just didn't want to deal with the big boxes that stacked on one top of another. I mean, definitely you'd tell there's something going on that side of the room because the boxes are so big, but I was like, man, that's a lot to carry around. And DJing at the same time, like I got enough to bring in speakers wise and everything else. But once everything started getting smaller, I'm like, all right, now I'm going to get into this because it's a lot more portable and easier to use.
Yeah, very cool. So what are you using now? What do you like?
I started off with the Your City Tower photo booth, and then one of the issues that I had and was that children that just for some reason I couldn't get it tilted down far enough, and I didn't like
Uh,
having kids standing on chairs, and I didn't like to watch the parents grimace while they're holding their kids. So I was on the search for another booth, and this is when I was at the DJ Expo a few years back, and the only booth vendor at the expo was Danny Max with his Max DSLR. And I was like, okay, this works. It tilts all the way down. It's safer for me to take photos, and I can also tilt it back to get the really tall people. So it met both, actually three things, which is the portability, and then also being able to tilt forward and tilt back. I really loved it, so I was sold on it. So that's what I use now.
yeah, I really love that booth because it's so versatile. Because I think you could buy the panel and then change it into an iPad booth
Yep,
as well.
yep.
So, but I want to go back and touch on something that you said, right, Dave? Dave, don't be so quiet over there. I want to know, um, how you guys feel about people standing on chairs.
I don't like it. It's not.
You don't
I
like
don't think
it?
it's safe. I almost think it's a liability. It's
I've
so if
never had a
someone
bench.
falls,
I've never had a bench. I've always kept my booths that you could wheel a wheelchair in. I never used chairs. Um, you
You
know,
know,
when
handicap,
I did
you know.
enclosed booths, I used to do pipe and well, I still do. I do pipe and drape to create a room with the curtains. Um, it's I've always just because I had friends that are in wheelchairs,
mhm,
and I want them to be. I always wanted them to be able to experience this too. And
Absolutely.
you get the grandparents, your great grandparents sometimes at an event where they're in a wheelchair, and they want to have pictures. The bride and groom, or the birthday person wants to have pictures with them. You know, they can always wheel right in and get that picture, and it's nobody has to get up and kind of move around in that. So that's I've always done that.
yeah, I do use
Yeah.
chairs if I've got kind of like 4 or 5 people in the booth, and you've got like the parents and you got the 2 little kids. I'll have the parents sit on the chair, the kids sit on the lap, and a couple people behind them. That's how I'll use the chair in the booth. Just for everybody out there,
But
yes, there is an audio issue.
sit on is okay. To sit on, I think, is okay. Are you
Yeah,
using the Max booth as well, Dave?
Well, I have several booths.
he's got a
So
lot.
I have the Min booth, which I
Yeah.
absolutely love and have used that for many years. Um, and I have the Danny Max booth also. Um,
Yeah. Both.
you know,
Have you had Danny? Should be like episode 10. Has he been on yet?
He's not. I spoke with him a couple days ago, and we're trying to work out the right date. Probably before WNBA. He'll come on.
Oh yeah.
But it's just we
Yeah.
started scheduling stuff, and he's like, yeah, yeah, just wait a little bit. And I said, okay, well, we got together. I was like, all right, let's figure this out because it's about time. Because almost every episode he's being mentioned, so got
Yeah.
to bring him on.
So Danny Max booth, I believe the whole head tilts,
Yes.
it
right?
does. Yeah,
And then in the Min booth, I believe only the camera tilts.
correct,
Is that
correct.
correct?
But
So
yeah, but it's nice because the Min booth, you have the little handle on the side that you can tighten it, loosen it, zoom in, you can kind of it's very flexible, and the difference is, and I know Danny, I heard is going to create one, is the Danny Max booths are vertical screens, but I've always like all my designs for everything have always been uh, horizontal screens. So it took me a long time to get used to and build screens and things like that for my vertical. So, and I just
thank
prefer a
don't
horizontal
you
screen.
were supposed to, I don't think you were supposed to let that out of the bag.
Yeah.
What? No,
That he was
The
gonna
landscape.
he posted something about that.
Well, he is watching. See, he says, "Hi guys,
Yeah.
careful what you
I see
say."
it popped up on this. What's up, Danny? We're talking about you.
Well, what do you have, Rex? Like you must have like everything. What do you tell us what you're using?
Yeah, I've had everything at one point, including a slim booth. I have the original Danny Max Roamer, which I also have the stand for. I love that because
Yep.
you could walk up to it, take it out, roam. We're in a situation the other day where they wanted to shoot in front of a Indy car, and people were, the Indy car is like 2 feet to the ground. They were all crouching in front of it, and I could tilt it, but it was so much easier for me just to pick it up and grab it and then take their photos and then be able to share it with them. So that's what I use. I also have some, proprietary, personally designed ones. So you guys are talking about tilting earlier with handicapped or children. Well, ours is a sit down bench, and that came over from the photography side where people would come
Hmm.
in and family portrait, right? So you
Yeah.
have mom and dad You have kids over the shoulder, then you have the younger kids on the lap, and we created that, and we could recreate that in the photo booth. But this now they're able to see themselves live on the screen, so they can compose themselves, and then they can put the kids on their laps, and then we have the bench, which is 100% safe. And we also use it for like next, the next couple of weeks. We're gonna use it for trick or treating because you have these 6 and 7 year olds
Yeah.
come in, you have adults, and this is perfect for that reason. When adults sit down, they're the same height as kids. So we've always incorporated the bench. We have, uh, the Old Kingdom sit down booth as well, and that could be modified. So those, so I have Slim Booth for men. I have the Danny Max, which I absolutely love. We have some proprietary ones that we made, and then what else? I've always liked the toy booth. Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? Toy Brothers.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's yeah, the Toy Brothers, they got the tower booth. And then they got the
the tower booth. Yeah.
Your city.
yeah,
Oh, your city. Yeah. Shout out to him. I haven't seen it for a while, but that was a cool design because
yeah,
the
Jeff.
tower would unstack and then slide into.
Yeah,
So
it fits
so
right
so many
in.
cool,
Yeah, it was
right?
so
So
portable. It was great because you unlock it and you pull the bottom out and you stack it right on top and you just clip, put your power cable in and turn everything on. It's like it just was so easy. It still is. I still have two of them in my garage. So, and
wow.
I
Yeah.
actually have to bring those out to another event because they want two identical booths that are like they want to see it. So I've actually got to bring those two out. So I'm bringing them out next week, I believe.
And then I also have a Slim booth. You guys know what that is?
No, what's a slim booth?
The
Yeah.
Slim booth is, yeah, it's one of Min's earlier designs. It was totally brandable because there's so much space that you can brand it, and I really love that. So I still have that. And so yeah, I have it Infinite. They were voted like 3 years in a row best photo booth. I think it was like 16, 17, and 18.
Hmm.
So I have that. That was pretty heavy, but that was a nice booth. And
They actually won when we did our PBN awards. They actually won for, I think, best new design that one year.
yeah, yeah. So I still have that. And I have countless others, but I had them for like short periods of time. So I pretty much had everything at least one time or another.
But you guys, both of you. So I'm not into the 360, but you guys have been diving into the 360 experience. So tell me, like, which companies are you guys using for your 360s?
Yeah. Which one, Dave? What do you have?
I use Zentek
Yeah.
with the GoPro, and for the sharing of the videos, I use Media Share and
Cool.
also Pick Social.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Pick goes way back though. He's
Share,
definitely one.
Share is one of the greats, when it comes to software.
Yeah.
He's one of the first ones.
I have the Zentek too. So the first time I saw that, I believe was at WNBA, and it was Orca View, and it was my Facebook icon
Hmm.
or biopic. This time, people always thought it was so cool because we're talking early 2017. They were doing it, so they must have had it in 2015. And back then, it was like 15,000 that they wanted, and it was like $800 shipping, and I thought it was really, really expensive at the time. And looking back now, it was. And so that's the first time I saw it, and I think they're the godfathers of 360. So I want to give credit where credit is due. And
Hmm.
then, and then, then I ended up with a Zentek because I love that, and that fit in the back of my Prius. And then for sharing, I used Bleep Share, and one of the first to do it. They were what do they call themselves? Sharing without the internet. So that was one of the big things. It was so difficult to email, right? A video file, which is what a 360 is with music, and it would be
Yeah.
like 20 gigs. And even if you did it in a gallery with some like LA Photo Party or Pick Social, which are great products, you still had to wait for the internet to upload a 25 meg file. But with BleepShare, you were able to do it peer-to-peer. You're looking at it right on the phone or on the computer, and they're just like, can you give me that file? There's a lot of frustration with a lot of users and guests. And that's where I came about. That's where BleepShare came about. So I really like that about them, and they really fill the market need. And then I also have a Booth, if you guys know what that is. He's been in this industry a
Yeah,
long time.
I've had his also.
Yeah, and oh, I just recently got a new toy. So I have an overhead spinner from Selfie Box.
Oh, did you have you
So
taken that out yet?
yeah, go check it out on my YouTube page. I have a
What
full
YouTube page? I
video.
don't know what you're talking about. You mean this one?
I love that you did your research, Art, before you bring your guest on. Yes, that is my YouTube page. Please like and subscribe.
Yep.
Help me to get to 1,000. I want to be able to do lives at Photobooth Expo on Photobooth Network, Dave, and please let me on. And in order to do
Photobooth
a live,
Network, what's that?
What's that? Never heard of it.
yeah, they have no members. I need to have 1,000 subscribers, so please just subscribe. I have tons of reviews and tutorials. I go to a lot of trade shows.
You do.
I Apple's favorites. I go to WPPI, WMBA. What else am I missing? I've been to Marquee, right? As a DJ, you guys know that one. So I've been to the
Yep.
Marquee show. I've always wanted to do a live from there. So please like and subscribe, and thank you, Bart, for bringing up my page.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
So there is
Rex
a
is
lot on here.
internationally known as the selfie guy.
Yes.
We'll talk about.
So we're going to make sure that we put a link to your YouTube channel. We record this, and this is live in Photobooth Network. This is live in Photobooth Magazine Facebook groups. This is also live on YouTube. But tomorrow, when I wake up in the morning, I go through the video and I add the links, and I make sure that there's a blog written with a link to the video, and I'll make sure I put your link to your channel in here, and then I also do another Facebook post on both the channels to make sure that everybody knows that this is what happened last night. I'll put your link to your channel in there, so everybody who's watching this, just look in the description after tonight, and you'll see all the links to everything that we talk about tonight. So there's a lot of stuff on here. Like, well, you just bragged about the hitch lift, which is pretty cool. So that was a fun video to watch.
Saw that, right?
I
Yeah,
did.
that was really cool. You have one?
And you have a lot of tutorials on here. I mean, there's just so much. And one of the tutorials I believe you go into is really the main topic of tonight, which is wireless printing, right? You have a couple of those on
Yeah.
there.
Well,
Yes.
wait a second. Before we get into this,
Yeah.
there was a topic that
Oh.
that sparked a lot of activity this week in the PBN, and I want to get your take, both of your take on it.
Yep.
Is being offered a drink at an event. What's your take? Do you accept it, or say no? I don't. Or how do you guys handle it? What's your thoughts?
You first, Rex.
Oh, thank you. It's an absolute no, only because I'm very risk adverse. I have high insurance, and the last thing I want with all this cell phone activity out there is for my insurance agent to see that I took a sip during a toast and I got hit on the way home, and then now I'm blamed for drunk driving. So what I usually do is if I'm in the area, because I'll MC sometimes, they'll say, "Hey, let's raise a toast." I'll raise it, and I'll salute them, and then I'll just put it down on the table. I won't. I'll turn around and I'll set it down. I will never, not even pretend to sip it, unless it's water and I'm prepared. I know it's gonna happen. I'll put water in the glass. Water, champagne, vodka, it's all the same. But if it's somebody I know and I had a really great experience working with and meeting prior to, yeah, I'll sip the water. I'll have my own drink. But if I'm
Right.
offered a drink, hey, come on, no, well, not worth my
I,
insurance.
I always try. I bring my own container of water or Gatorade or something like that because I sweat like crazy just moving, just breathing. I sweat like
I
crazy.
know.
seen it.
So
but imagine your glass and it's like blue, like you have
yeah,
a blue gator.
sure. Well, no, it's normally the lemon lime, so it'd be like I'm drinking
Green.
antifreeze or something.
Yeah.
But I
All
also
right.
have I bring like a
Drinking?
little cooler with water bottles in it too. That I keep either in like if I'm doing a photo booth, I keep it in where I have my tubs and things like that, or I'll put it because I always keep like a box of paper near the printer just in case, or under the table, and I'll keep that there, and then in between people coming up, I'll grab the water and take a drink or whatever.
Fair enough. Go, Art. Let's hear it. You
Agreed.
drinking? Come on.
Agreed.
Come on, bro.
100%.
Have
No, I can't.
100.
You're right. And a lot of people, and I've actually, so another topic is insurance, right? We'll talk about it another day, but I go to a local insurance agent. I like dealing with the person in face to face. And I've actually gotten some referrals from that agent. So it kind of paid for itself by getting referrals from the agent. But one of the questions is, do you drink on the job? And because she said, if you get caught drinking or anything like that, you're not covered. And this is straight from the insurance agent's mouth. So that's number one. Yeah.
Oh.
So
Like, so your policy just becomes invalid or what?
pretty much they'll drop you if they find out you're drinking on the job. So they don't
Wow.
want any risk whatsoever. They're not in the business. Insurance is not in the business of giving out money. They're in the business of taking money. So if they're going to have to shell out, thousands of dollars, they don't want any part of it. And alcohol is an easy excuse. I also work for law firms, so you know, it all it takes is for you to go to court and the witness says, well, the lawyer in court says, well, here's video of the guy drinking. This guy, everything he says is incredible is not credible because he was drinking on the job, right?
Oh.
So I don't want any of that risk falling on my shoulders. So I mean, if I'm doing my own house party and I got some friends over and we're drinking, fine. But at a professional event, absolutely not. It's just, and it's not the right thing to do because when you're drinking, you're not at your best capacity. And if you're supposed to be producing great photos, can you do that at the best capacity that you can while you're on alcohol? Even if it's one drink, you know, that's it's
They
still a risk.
they say impairment starts at the first sip. So
Yeah,
you know, why risk it?
yeah. But everybody
You know,
watching
You
this
with
is
Allstate, Farmers, RV, or just some guy down,
no, I use
local
State Farm.
insurance agent?
I'm using State
Oh
Farm.
yeah,
Yeah,
I like State Farm. Shout out to State Farm, by the way.
yeah. They're always here. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that's a big topic, and just everybody's got their own business. You operate it the way you want to. This is just our advice. We're not telling you how to run your business. We're just giving you some good old fashioned advice. Take it or leave it, but that's our take on it.
Wow. Yeah. Totally agree. Don't drink. Nothing good can come from it.
Yep, agreed.
exactly.
So Dave, thank you for reminding us about that little topic there. And actually, it's a pretty big topic.
Listen, if the three of us can get off topic. I'm like I got
Well,
ADD, and I see a shiny thing, and I'm like, oh, look at that over there.
I see a stitch behind Rex. Before I was calling it Lilo, and I got that all wrong.
Oh
Oh,
no, aren't you worried about copyright? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh no,
Put hot boy
we've
on
got a
to
Disney.
our three videos while we're at it. Oh man. Should we
oh,
talk about that? No, just the answer is no. No, you cannot use music from your iTunes if you bought it. You cannot use music from Spotify if you're paying. It doesn't work like that. Just
yeah.
keep it simple. Use royalty free music and pay for it. So
Mm-hmm.
there you go. Don't
Yep.
don't don't I don't want that in the comments. No,
Stuffed animals don't
we do
don't
not.
count.
All right.
So let's talk about wireless printing. That's the huge reason why we're here tonight. Other than that, you're really cool, and we'd love to have you on. And you know, but there's wireless printing is a big question mark that I often see in the Facebook groups. So what is it, Rex? What is wireless printing?
Wow, wireless printing is something we all wish we had 10 years ago, so we didn't have to take down billions and billions of wires. And and you got like these there. I think there's a whole Facebook group dedicated to gaff tape. Have you guys ever seen
Yeah.
that?
Yep. And that's where I
And
found out about
so
the Gaff Gun.
there's the gaff god. Who's the gaff god? Who's the admin in that?
No, it's the Gaff Gun. It's just
Oh,
the
the
long
gaff god.
pole. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
this
yeah. Do you
long
have
pole,
it?
and you just roll it on the ground, and it auto gaffs all of your wires. It's pretty incredible.
Have you
Yeah, it's got
started using?
like a little angle to it that kind of pulls your wires together and then tapes it down after that.
Oh man, if I get 100 likes and subscribe, I'll go buy one and then I'll do a review on it for you. Follow me on my channel.
You heard it here, folks. The Gaff Gun has officially made it
That
on
that alone is worth the subscription to Rex's YouTube channel.
the Gaff Gun. Yeah, absolutely.
Shiny thing. What were we talking? Oh, wireless printing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
All right, wireless printing. So we all wish we had it because we didn't like the wires. We didn't want people to trip. Kids get excited. They see it. They ran. Now with the advent of the iPad booths
Yep.
or I'm sorry, the selfie kiosk, there it went backwards. There was no way to hardwire them. And the funny thing is, the wireless version came first. So I would see this coming on probably 2019, maybe is when, maybe even a little bit earlier, when tablet booths started becoming popular and the tablet camera started getting better, where we got from like 3 to 5 megapixels, right? So 5 megapixels was
Hmm.
more acceptable. The first Canon the first Canon Rebel was like 6 megapixels or something like that. So that's what when it became really acceptable. And people were doing it digitally because it was really great to share. It was easier to share. You could just type in your phone number and SMS and text, and you could also type in your email and then share your photo, because that's what people really wanted. They wanted with the nice backdrops, and
Hmm.
after they take the pictures, like, oh, how do you get them? But then it evolved so to a point where people wanted to print. And one of the first printers to be able to do it was the Canon Selfie.
Hmm.
It was
Yep.
like $29, and I had 25 prints, so the cost per print was horrible. It
Yeah.
was like a dollar per print. So imagine, your cost per print is $1, and here's a kid that comes back over and over like 10 times in a row. You're like, man, this is gonna get awfully costly here. So some people started with that, but you soon find out that the Canon Selfie is for home use and it's not really commercial grade. So we all had dye subs, and people were like, man, if Canon can do it, then why can't all these dye sub printer companies do it? So I believe one of the first companies, and I want to give credit where credit is due, to do it was the Aircon.
Yep.
And they were one of the first to do it, if you guys remember them.
Mhm.
Aircon V or Aircon, I'll refer to as that. So shout out to them. But they haven't updated it for a while. So after the Aircon came this other gentleman. Oh God, the name slips me, right. I want to say it was Tom or something. This is a really cool guy out of England, I believe. He had this Ninja box. You guys know what
Oh
I'm talking about?
no, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, so he was probably the second guy to do it and to do it reliably. So he had a product where he was trying to fill the void of the old um, disposable cameras,
Okay.
so that you can take pictures with your smartphone now at your table, and then you can send it to this little box, this server that would play it in a slideshow, and then also allow you to print it. And it was expensive. It was like $899 or something like that. It's still around that price today. But that was a very, very cool product. So that was number two. And then we go into modern day today. I think Aircon, the Ninja, I believe it's called, and then DNP
Hmm.
decide to get in the game. because I believe that they are the last remaining printer company to 100% support the photo booth industry and photographers. They are, I believe, are the standard. So
Yep.
they have the RX1, which has probably been around 10 plus years. It's an absolute workhorse. They have DS40, which has an awesome resurgence because of the way they're built. They're built like tanks, and there's media shortage from overseas.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an issue with the DS40 because they were manufacturing the media in the United States. So, and they're just such workhorses and built so well that people still have them today. Then they have the 620, which is probably the smallest and fastest printer on the market. So we all want something lightweight because the RX1 was great, but I think it held like 700 prints a roll, and that thing was kind of heavy.
Yeah.
So they came
That's
out.
what I have.
Yeah, it's an absolute workhorse. Nothing wrong with it. And then they came out with a 620A, which is, you know, I seen Min. He likes to travel a lot with his photo booth, and he used to fly around with the 620A. It was fast. It had like a 400 roll print count, and it was lightweight enough that you can fly and travel with it. So shout out to DNP. And while I'm on the topic of DNP, um, they were probably the third company to come out with a wireless print module. So it's called the WCM2. Yep. Can we get that into the
Yep.
camera there?
And that's what I got.
So I want to shout out DMP and Suzanne, and we are going to give this away tonight, or either tonight or next week, on Photo Booth Magazine show, I guess.
Yep.
And I don't know. Art, what did you do? How should we get it? We're gonna be transparent, so I'm not gonna be choosing. We're Art and Dave. So give them the details on how they can win that. There's no purchase necessary. What do they have to do?
So it's really simple. What we want everybody to do is to go to our website, and we'll include this link in our description in the Facebook post, but it's photoboothmagazine.com. If you go to the contact page, which is right here, and just subscribe to our newsletter, you just put your email address in, and we're going to randomly pick somebody next week. So we're going to take all the email addresses and put them into a randomizer, and literally live on next week's show, the randomizer will pick the person who wins the WCM2 from DNP.
Brand new in the box. I will pay for the shipping. We will get it out to you. We're going to open this up internationally because Photo Booth Magazine is international. Shout out to PBX too. I heard they're going to do a conference or expo out in Europe, which is cool. So I know you guys had him on the show as well. And but back to the DM, we're going to mail it to you, whether if you're in Canada or Australia or Italy, right? Shout out, you guys. Go in the comments and shout out where you guys are, and good luck. Good luck with the WCM. So back to the story. Tablet or selfie kiosks were huge. They were huge among corporate, and some of these activations they wanted to add print, and there was no way to hardwire them at the time. So of course, you know, the largest printing company, DNP Worldwide, came up with a solution. They came up with the wireless control module too, and they allowed you to connect the iPad to the printer through this server. This is the bridge in between, wirelessly through AirPrint. So with the advent of AirPrint, which is Apple technology, they were able to incorporate printing into it, which is really, really cool. So that's where it all kind of started from. And then it kind of spread from there. So there are people with high-T printers or Mitsubishi printers, and they're like, I want to print too. So what do? So the fourth company, or after DNP, and you know, I just want to be fair. I think there's a lot of crossover between these two companies. Is Aircast Pro. So shout out to Aircast Pro.
Yeah.
Can you guys
Put it
see
right in
that?
front of your face there.
Okay.
Literally there, right there. Perfect. So we can all see
Oh,
it. There it is.
there.
Yep.
So this is the Aircast Pro. It's a little bit larger unit, and I think it's Linux based. And this is a little bit bigger, and this
Mm-hmm.
will, if you don't have a DMP printer, because I'm going to be very clear, the wireless control module only works for DMP printers. So if you have something outside of DMP, then you're going to need a Aircast Pro. They pretty much do the same thing. The Aircast Pro also does DMP. It's a little bit faster. The price point here, I think, is like right around $429, but they keep updating the software, which is what I like. So a new printer comes out, they got it. New driver comes out, color, what do they call it? Color profiles come out, they
Mm-hmm.
update them right away. And then whether you get the WCM or the Aircast Pro, they pretty much work the same. Um, Go into the browser, you go through an IP address 192.168, and you're able to go in there and go through drop down menus and pick. So if you have RX1, you choose the RX1. If you have a QW410, which is the smallest printer in the DMP line at 13 pounds, then you can select that and do 4x6. And the Aircast Pro works very similarly. So go figure. So those are the main two. And I'm trying to think. Ah, so the main issues with the wireless the wireless servers is that in very crowded situations like a Coachella where it's really really hot, or at Expo where the Wi-Fi is really sketchy, you'll get dropouts. So a lot of these software companies like Curator, Snappic, LumaBooth, they came out with their own print servers, and you no longer needed the wireless control module, but you needed a laptop. So I have these two. Uh, One is a Apple AirBook. I got this
Mm-hmm.
for like $100 on eBay, and this one is a RCA Cambio from Walmart, and these have been rock solid. So for those of you doing corporate events or big festivals, I highly recommend the computers as the print servers. It'll be wireless, so you need the computer to USB cable to your printer, but it's still AirPrint technology, and it's wireless between your selfie kiosk and the printer. So we no longer need to take down wires. Here's a quick visual difference between the form factors. So I know a lot of people do not want to carry the computers. I totally understand. So you always have the wireless option as well, and you can pretty much test and see which one you like. I have found that the computer print servers have always printed much faster because of the processor itself. So you need something robust. Definitely go the PC. Don't be lazy. In terms of the price, I mean, you're looking RCA Cambio I bought for $149, and Aircast Pro, which is awesome, $429.
Yeah.
So
So the
really not.
Aircast Pro, does that work with all printers?
It works with all printers, whereas
Okay.
the DNP control module only works with DNP printers.
Okay. Yeah, because Simeon, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. You asked that question, so I wondered which model works with all printers. But the laptop would also work with all printers, correct?
As well, as long as they have a driver for it, which they do, right?
Yep.
Then the laptop. You have an old laptop laying somewhere. Okay, this is the wireless printing episode, and I'm gonna tell you, if you have an old laptop, it doesn't take a lot of processing power. If you have an old laptop sitting around, that's the one that you really want to be using for stability. It has Wi-Fi built in, which you will need, and it doesn't take a lot to process. So
Yeah.
like I said, it's $100 Windows 10 PC or MacBook Air. That the thing's like
Yeah.
7 years old. It's still
Yeah,
working.
I haven't tried the laptop yet, and the reason why I got this is because I'm all about the smallest thing possible to bring with me that I can just like pop in a bag, pull it out, and like put it in. I'd actually put it in the like the little nook behind the printer of my photo booth, so it's like hidden and out of the way. But I mean, Dave, you use a laptop, don't you? Sometimes.
I actually use the Surface Pros.
Okay.
So I've gotten, like used ones off of Facebook Marketplace or eBay, for a couple $100. They're super fast. Um, if something happens, I can always use that as a backup also to get through an event. So, it's nice.
So
Plus, it also does it. The nice thing with the laptop version is you can do a slideshow or a kiosk
mhm,
that the people can actually come over and do a
Yeah.
reprint later on that you
right.
can't do with the wireless print module.
Mhm.
You actually have to do it from whatever software you're using, like Curator or Snappic in the gallery. You can reprint, but if you're using a laptop, you can walk over, touch the picture, click print, and it'll print out another copy for you too.
But that's a touch screen. Like, so if you don't have a touch screen, you can't necessarily do that. But you would, so the Surface
Well,
Pro products.
if you're using a tablet or
Yeah.
even if you're using, like
You can
a
use the
small
key.
laptop,
Keyboard, mouse, yeah.
Yeah.
you can like the
Yeah.
Surface that I have. I have a little fold down keyboard like they have for the iPads.
Okay.
They make them for the Surface
All right. So,
Surface
so for the
tablets.
newbies out
Yeah.
there, right, or the people novices, or just like this is really a new concept. So you've got an iPad, right, and if they're running an iPad booth, and I want a wirelessly print, I then either have if I've got a DNP printer, I can get this one here,
Yeah.
or I can get the
Yeah.
Aircast Pro if I have other printers or whatever printers, or I can get a laptop. So there's three main options right now that we're talking
Yeah.
about. And you've got to go into your iPad and find the wireless server, right? And that wireless server is created by the box, or your laptop is going to create its own server. How does that? Talk about the laptop part of it, of hooking an iPad up to the laptop that's sitting on top of the printer. How is that done?
It's very similar. So you have the tablet and you want to turn on AirPrint. The computer sees it. It'll take up that channel.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back. And let's put up the wireless control module up to your head right there. I mean, the form
Just
factor
you
is
did it,
just
so I'm going
it's
to do it.
yeah. It's I mean, I just wanted to show the difference because Aircast they pretty much spent more money on the hardware itself.
Yep.
So it's a little larger form factor. It
I
has
feel like we're playing a
uh,
drinking game.
it has 4-port USB on it as well. Also, Ethernet port, which I'll touch on at the end, and I'll
Yep.
because Dave, stop. Uh, um,
I felt bad.
Dave
You guys
really
are
hit
holding
it.
something up, and I got nothing to hold up.
They really hit it on the nail with the computers. The fact that you can do the slideshow and then go back and do reprints is awesome. But
Well,
let's go back on topic. Talk
Yep.
about shiny new things.
Yep.
so
If you
the
have
the other thing you can connect a larger monitor to your laptop or your tablet
Yeah.
also. So while you're doing the slideshow, you could mirror your screen or whatever, and then you've got your slideshow going, so people can see the pictures right as they're coming out of the booth
Yeah.
as well.
So we've got the tablet, iPad, whatever it is. It's got to hook up to. So you got to find. So are you clicking AirPrint on the iPad, and then it's going to find that it's a laptop sending its own network signal out, right?
correct, correct. It'll find its own signal. Once the two talk to each other,
Mm-hmm.
then a green light will come on in the software. It'll say connected,
Yep.
and it magically. It's not that complicated to set up. Don't let the computer intimidate you.
Yeah.
And the processing power of a PC is just so much greater, and it prints quick, it prints right away. A lot of people were shy from using the wireless control modules because it's slow. And
Yeah.
honestly speaking, it's like 17 seconds on the first print. But if you have the line going, it does get a little bit faster. But the PC is like, wow, you press it, it's pretty much instant. So that's very very huge. But so that's the answer to your question. So it goes from tablet, you're on the same channel as the laptop, and then the laptop needs to be wired USB to the printer in order for it to
Yeah.
print.
And somebody asked, do you need internet service to make that happen? Do you need a wireless hotspot or anything? Or is it just the
The great
laptop and the devices together?
A lot of people ask that, so I'm going to be making a video on my channel. So check it out. Make sure you like and subscribe. And the answer is you do not need internet to do wireless printing. You need to have Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is just a local area network when you have devices talking to each other. And I'm going to advise you now: do not go to a venue like you got Sheraton or a Holiday Inn and
Yep.
use their free Wi-Fi, because you may be able to sit in your hotel room and go, oh look, I have the internet, I can surf on my phone or on my iPad. But then when you start trying to print, it drops out, because at hotels they don't like devices talking to each other because they think you're trying to hack their phone or
Yep.
their iPad, and the two need to talk to each other.
Hmm.
So to combat that, right, to answer the question quickly, because I want to leave value bombs here before we finish, is that you can create a local area network, and there's two or three guys out there that know networking like the back of their hand, that are always on and ready to help. I want to shout them out: Mitch Miller, thank you for all your help. Stephen Murphy, who has a entire dissertation on wireless printing, and Smarty Rokovich from the Luma Booth Group. Yeah, he's the one that turned me on to this the Hutu, which they probably don't even sell anymore. But TP Link makes a $39 travel router,
Yep. I have
or
that.
when yeah, $40. I'll just stick to the point. You can find it on Amazon. TP Link 750 travel router, $39.99. And what it'll do is it'll create your own local area network, so that your tablet and your PC can all talk to each other without the internet. The difference between the Wi-Fi just creates it so that your devices can can connect to each other. The internet will take you out to Google or to Ask Jeeves or wherever, and you don't need that for printing. But the one thing that I don't like is it takes away your ability to send text and, and emails, because they'll
Yeah.
be queued until you get back onto the internet. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there are advantages and disadvantages. So whether you're using the Aircast or the DNP or the computer, when that happens, you're going to need to bring your own internet. And I like to use my Verizon MiFi. So if I'm bringing my own internet, my little Verizon Jetpack box, I will connect all my devices
Hmm.
to my Jetpack. They can talk to each other, then they can print, and then they can also send text and emails out into the world. So just
Yeah.
be aware of that.
And that's a great point that you brought up, is that when using a router, unless you're actually connected to the internet, you won't be able to send these out to people's phones or to a Dropbox or anything out there. This is really just point to point. So I
Yeah.
have this one as
Here
well.
to,
This is really good.
okay. So now I'm going to go backwards. So if you're really good at networking, and this defeats the entire purpose, but in the back of the both the DMP unit and the Aircast unit is a Ethernet port. Am I going the right way? Yeah, the
Yep.
Ethernet port. So if you happen to be at an event where they can give you hardwire internet and you connect it to this,
Yep.
It makes it 100%, 100 times more reliable, and will also give you internet. So that's the beauty of these devices. And you can also hardwire via the Ethernet as well. And I have a video on how to hardwire, because if you're looking for more stability, and you're not set on, or you don't need you don't need wireless for that event, you can actually hardwire a printer to your tablet with any of the devices, whether you're using the DNP or the Aircast Pro.
Yep. And I see
So, and I have a video.
there's two USB ports on this one. So is that for two printers?
Uh, yeah, I guess you could,
So you can piggyback.
if
So if
it's in
you've
the
got,
software.
yeah, because one of the things that I have is, when people want 4x6 prints, and you're promising a print for every person in the session, and you've got 20 people sitting there, right? And you're relying on one printer to do a 4x6, it's going to be really slow. So to stack, two printers so they're just banging out those photos, I guess that's what this would be for, right? Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, I want to speak. So now this is where I would reach out to Mitch or Smarty Pants, or
Right?
Stephen Murphy. Those are your IT gurus, because I never used two printers before. So what? Yeah, hey, I just saw Stephen come on. What did he say?
That a hub works
Can you
too.
guys
I've
see it?
done 4 printers.
There you go, from the horse's mouth, right there. That's your guy. So yeah, you can connect up to 4 printers. That's good to know, because I didn't want to misspeak, because I've never done it. And
Yep.
you know, I could make a video on that too, if I can get 4 printers.
Yeah, and you got a lot on here. I mean,
But
this is we were talking about just printing right here, and this is I just typed in. So you can go to someone's channel and type in the search box, and it'll bring up all the videos on the subject. You got a lot of here that touches on wireless on your
yeah,
channel.
so I have a video with a Curator using their print server, which I
Yep.
like, and it's very fast. Slideshow, which is a little outdated. I've done wired and wireless with them.
Hmm.
And what else? And I have a unboxing video. So if
Yep.
anybody's interested in unboxing, it comes in the box. I've done it with the QW410, which I really like. It's the smallest printer. I think it holds 150 prints in that printer, but the printer only weighs 13 pounds. It does 4x6 and 2x6 with perforated paper. And the cool thing about the QW410, just a side note, is you need to bring power. You need to bring power to either the PC, the Aircast, or
Yep.
the DMP.
So that's this right
With
here.
the yeah, uh-huh. With the QW410, there's a powered port in the back of that DMP printer, where you don't need to plug in power. You can just connect the USB cable, and it'll power it with the USB cable. So that's one of the cool features about the QW410. So that is pretty much wireless printing in a nutshell. Hope we have not bored you.
It's a lot, and again, I'm going to say your channel has a lot of information there, a lot of tutorials for people who want to just dive in a little bit further into some of the different things they're printing. So thank you so much for that. And I'm still going to be practicing with this thing and testing things out. And I want to try out the laptop next. That's something I haven't done. So thank you for
Software are you using?
what's that? What software
What
do we use?
software are you using?
I'm using Breeze.
Yes.
Well, well, I use Breeze in my DSLR. On my iPads, I'm using
Yep.
Curator.
Oh, Curator's awesome. Shout
Yep.
out to James.
Yeah,
James,
James
you're
is.
listening. Awesome. The new Curator is amazing. God, it's like a 5 in software. It does prints, it does slideshows. So what Dave was talking about is that you don't get that option with these little print servers. Now, if you just want to print, that's cool. Buy the wireless control module. But
Yep.
if you want something more robust, go with the PC. Don't skimp. It's a highlight of somebody's event. You can see it play back, and then they go, "Oh, that's my picture," and then they go back on the screen. Especially the new Curator print server, it's awesome. So I really like that, and I do have a video. I believe I do. I have a video with their PC print server. So, and then also I look forward to see. I like to encourage everybody to go to PBX. So, if you guys don't know what that is the largest photo booth trade show in the world. and it is in Las Vegas. It's been going on for, I want to say, 7 years, and I've been to every single one so far, produced by Rob, right? So if you go back to episode 6, is that right? Was he on? No, 2. He was
No,
like your
Two,
second
number
number
guest.
one.
two.
No, I thought he was
Number
our
1?
first guest.
Art was,
It was episode number 2 because our first one was
That's
unlined.
right. Right. Our first one was just us telling everybody about the Photo Booth magazine.
Yep.
yeah,
Right up.
Dave, get it right.
And we got all the
I
videos here on the
know.
website.
We've got so many. We've got so many episodes now. It's crazy.
There's episode 1, episode 2. Wait, there it is.
Episode, like the Photo Booth Strikes Back episode 2 with Rob Savick. Go to PBX, and I'll make a lot. You'll see me on the floor. I'll interview a lot of the manufacturers, so look for me there, and we'll even take a selfie together.
That's
So
right.
that's what I like to do when I'm back. Yeah.
So if anybody has not met Rex at one of the expos, if you haven't been there, Rex is the selfie king, and he actually tries to beat his record every year by taking more and more selfies with people.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
You are.
Man.
I think I got mine taken with you
know?
when I was waiting in line at South Point
Yeah.
to check in.
While people are gambling, while people are on the slots,
As long as
all
you're not
over. If I
going
find
under the stalls in the bathroom, I think we'll be okay, Rex. That's where we draw the line.
no, never get that far, but you guys know how it started, right?
No, tell us how it started.
All right. So this was back in either year 1 or year 2. They're like, wow, this because nobody knew. This was the first time. Like, we're going to South Point for what, a photo booth expo? Are there really other photo boothers in this world? And first year was phenomenal. Second year is like, oh yeah, I recognize that guy, but I don't remember their names. And I'll tell you, I'm the first. I'm so bad. I can recognize faces, but I can't remember the names. And that's how it started. And also, it's in the spirit of Photo Booth Network. The reason Dave started is to help other people. It's not, hey, you, right? And PBN, we don't allow you to be Diamond Photo Booth. Who the hell is Diamond Photo Booths, right? You have to use your real name to join Photo Booth Network.
Yep.
And that kind of, I took a lot of cues from PBN, and I would just take pictures with people, and I was like, yeah, Shay, he's the sharing guy. He's Pick Social. Nah, I don't remember. As I would take a picture, and then I would tag him and say, that's the guy. And that's how it started. I think the first year I got to like 50. And then, and every year progressively, I did like 75.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I counted. Yeah, I know. And then that thread goes long. It starts getting really lengthy that I can't even go back and find names. But I go, I know that guy. I met him. I know who you're talking about. And I'll go back and then I'll look. And I think the last show I ended up with like 263. And there was even some that, I didn't even get the names of. So it's just the thing that I've done every year to just try to meet more and more people, in the spirit of helping, and why Dave started the network. He didn't start the network, just because. He started because he used to help people. He used to like, where was it? I was in it was a round table or something. He gave his number out in public. I said, what are you doing? Your wife is going to be so pissed at you, people calling you at 10. Hey, I'm at an event, Dave. I need your help. And he would pick up the phone and answer. I was like, you're crazy.
Always
that's
always answered every single call. And I spent hours helping people. I was probably one of the first troubleshooting companies out there. And, people would say, oh, Dave, can I pay you for something? I'm like, no, just pay it forward. Just help somebody else. That's all. That's all I ever asked. It's just one person help another person. That's all.
So that was really cool, and I really took cues from that. And so if you see me at PBX in February at South Point, please come up. Let's take a selfie.
That's it. Well,
I look forward to first giving you a hug every year and then taking a selfie with you.
Amen. Amen, brother.
Rex, thank you so much for
And
coming on.
don't forget, if you're ever in the Philly area during the summer, Dave hosts a barbecue. So I think we're going for a record like 100 people in his backyard. And he'll have that on his YouTube channel as well. He'll tell you more about his
I have
backyard.
5.5 acres, so it's good. You know, I could fit 100. I could fit 1,000 people in my backyard if we needed to. So
yeah, I missed it this year.
Rex, now I got to put it together for next year, and I'm going to make sure I'm flying your ass out here.
Mow your lawn,
Wait,
mow your lawn, Dave.
So 5 acres, you could actually host Photobooth Expo in a few years.
True.
Talk to Rob. Photobooth Expo at Dave's house.
PBX to Philly, I love it. So are we done? So we're all clear. I am going to give this away.
Yep.
And Art already told you how, and the description of how is going to be where.
So I'll tell everybody. So people are like, "How do I win?" All right. So I'm going to go through this one more time, and that is you're going to go to photoboothmagazine.com, and I will find the screen here, and I'll put the link in the Facebook groups. I will put the link in the description of this video on YouTube. In our blog, but it's photoboothmagazine.com/contact. Just subscribe to the newsletter. That's all you have to do. When you subscribe to the newsletter with your email address, next week we're going to randomly pick one of those email address winners to win this, and then you're going to ship that out. So we want to give some people some time because not everybody can tune in to the show, and we want to just make sure everybody has a good opportunity to win this fantastic WCM2 from DNP.
Yeah, shout out to DNP. Thank you, Suzanne, for always supporting the photo booth community. We appreciate you.
Yep, and we're gonna run this through a randomizer. So we're gonna share the screen, and it's gonna blink on the screen the person who wins. So it's not us personally picking it out of a hat. This is gonna be completely random. So it's nice and fair and square for everybody.
So also
we'll open it up.
Yep, and another question is, do you have to be present to win? The answer is no. So you don't have to watch next week in order to. You just got to subscribe.
You have to watch. What are you doing, Art?
Hey.
Of course you have to watch.
Well, we want you to watch, but we understand.
No purchase necessary.
Yeah, exactly. No purchase necessary. We understand that people have events. Some people couldn't come tonight because they had events, and some people have children and they got stuff to do. And hey, we want to be as fair as possible for everybody.
Awesome. So I just wanted to drop this out there. I'm working on getting DNP on, or a rep here from the East Coast, to discuss the paper shortage and all that too. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we'll have them coming up here shortly also.
Yep.
As well as and
don't forget, Danny, you're still listening, please get on the show. We want to know what you have coming down the pipeline.
Definitely. But speaking of shows, Art, we forgot to plug who do we have next week?
Julia Lewis Martinez from Yo Props. She's going to be here next week. We're going to hear her story and find out about all the different props and all the different things going on that she has over there.
But it's not just props. She also put together and organizes a ladies, women, female photo booth expo inside the photo booth expo.
Yes. An expo.
I'm a little jealous because this past year they had a masseuse in there that I couldn't take advantage of, but you know, I just heard so many wonderful things.
That just didn't sound right. You might want to rephrase that.
No, listen, I have no filters. Whatever comes out, you know. But no, she has done so many amazing things That's it. Thank you.
You get that
Thank
for
you,
that,
Art.
Dave.
Here, wait, hold on. Okay. So
Sorry. Gotta have a little fun.
that's
Not so
the fun that
stuffy,
we
Dave.
have. You know, see, that's why you have to tune in every week to see what kind of crazy stuff we do.
Never know what's gonna happen. I mean,
You
Rex
know,
has got a stuffed animal behind his head. We gotta have something else here.
right, right. No,
Rich.
so she's really done a lot to help um, ladies
Yeah.
in the industry kind of find their place, their own place.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of guys here, and let's
Uh-huh.
face it, sometimes we can be a little rude and obnoxious. Um, Granted, the ladies can be rude and
A little.
obnoxious too, but you know, it's kind of she's created an area also for them to have a place to complain about us over here on our side. No, I'm just kidding. You know, just a way that they can communicate that's, you know, kind of their thing.
Yeah.
And it's a great great thing that she's doing, you know, to help the industry. You know, the object of the expos is to increase your business, increase your knowledge, and make connections. Yes, there's great toys there to play with and look at, but ultimately it's about learning and making connections. That should be one of your key focuses, no matter who you are, where you come from, what level of this industry. There's something for everybody at these expos.
Uh-huh.
Now, Rex, I know that you kind of do like a photo booth 101 kind of seminar.
Yeah.
You have in the
That
past.
artifact. So one more plug. You would put this down below. It's photoboothbizconference.com. So what I've done is I've taken a lot of this knowledge by going to shows and meeting with manufacturers and doing one-on-one with developers, and we bring it all to Photobooth Biz Conference, and we teach you step by step. Like I have Doug. Doug has been in the industry 30 plus years. He's towards retirement, and he will come and do a 101 on printer maintenance. A lot of times is, oh, I got this line going across my print. What is it? You know, and we'll do one-on-ones, master classes on, oh, look, I mean, Nick, Lap, those are all big players in the industry. They've spoken. Brandon Huang from Salsa, he's spoken at the conference as well. There's Kevin, right? You guys know from Kevin from High T, if you use High T printers. We do a lot of one-on-ones. We do a lot of business coaching. We talk about insurance. We talk about mileage. We talk about software. So peep out photoboothconference.com. We did have to stop for the 2 years. You guys know why, but we're definitely going to bring that back. And look, back towards the middle. We gave away $20,000 worth of prizes from everybody. I mean, we're talking Imaging Spectrum, Dark Room, Joe from Spark Booth even kicked in. Who am I? I mean, Odyssey, DNP, Check Cherry. These are all sponsors of the show, and I appreciate them all. So please like and subscribe to Photobooth Biz Conference as well. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for that, Dave. I appreciate it.
Sure. That's kind of reminds me of another conference that, you know, used to go on a couple years ago that kind of, you know, went to the wayside.
I took inspiration from that too, and I thought it was amazing. Definitely amazing.
We tried. We really did try.
Nice. Rex, thank you so much. And just want to give you guys a plug one more time here, Rex. So once again, we've got photoboothbizconference.com. Go check that out. And also Rex's channel, which is here. We'll have that in the description of the blog and the Facebook posts, and as well as the YouTube video as well. I want to thank you very much for coming on, Rex. I know we kind of went a little bit over, but I hope you had a good time with us tonight.
Absolutely. So much fun.
100%. So, Dave, Rex, thanks again. We'll see you guys next week.
That's it.